When the heart and mind stand at odds, a simple tale of love and trust reveals the profound connection that can unite them. In a small, bustling town, Jesus sat beneath the shade of a large fig tree, surrounded by his disciples. The sun cast a warm glow over the group, and the distant sound of laughter filled the air. "Gather close," he said, his voice inviting. "I have a story that speaks to the harmony of the mind and body." Once in a distant village there lived a man named Ravi. He was known for his sharp intellect, solving complex problems and advising the villagers on matters of trade and strategy. The villagers respected him, often seeking his counsel on everything from farming techniques to trade negotiations. However, beneath his brilliant mind lay a troubled heart. Ravi often felt isolated, unable to connect with those around him. His relentless pursuit of knowledge left him emotionally drained. Ravi grew up in a family that valued intellect above all else. His father, a scholar, spent countless hours buried in books, instilling in Ravi the importance of knowledge from a young age. "Knowledge is power," his father would say, "and power will help you succeed in life." While Ravi excelled in his studies, winning numerous accolades, he often felt a deep emptiness inside, a void that the accolades could never fill. His father's expectations loomed large, and Ravi constantly felt the pressure to achieve, leaving little room for self-discovery or emotional connection. Ravi lived a regimented life, waking before dawn to study ancient texts and practice his calculations. His home was filled with scrolls and books, each a testament to his dedication. The walls of his house bore witness to his many sleepless nights spent poring over complex theories and solutions. As the sun set each evening, a hollow emptiness enveloped him. Despite his achievements, he found little joy in life. His friends, once close, began to drift away, sensing his emotional distance. Ravi longed for deeper connections but didn't know how to bridge the gap. One fateful day, a wandering healer named Asha arrived in the village. She was gentle and wise, known for her ability to heal not just the body but also the spirit. Her presence was calming, and the townspeople were drawn to her soothing energy. Asha traveled from village to village, offering her skills and wisdom to those in need. Her own journey of healing stemmed from a tragic past. She had once lost her beloved sister to illness, which ignited her passion for helping others. Intrigued by her gift and the light that radiated from her, Ravi approached her one afternoon at the marketplace, where she set up a small stall adorned with colorful herbs and handmade remedies. The vibrant colors of her stall seemed to pulse with life, a stark contrast to the muted world Ravi often inhabited. "Can you help me understand why I feel so disconnected?" he asked, his voice tinged with desperation. There was a vulnerability in his tone that surprised even him. Asha smiled warmly, her eyes reflecting kindness and compassion. "To heal, one must bridge the gap between the heart and mind." "Let me show you," she replied, sensing the turmoil within him. Over the next few weeks, Asha invited Ravi to join her in her daily rituals. She encouraged him to step outside the confines of his mind and experience the world around him. Together, they walked through the village, sharing stories and laughter with the townspeople. Asha taught Ravi the importance of mindfulness, showing him how to truly observe the beauty around him. The way the flowers danced in the wind, the laughter of children playing, and the warmth of the sun on their skin. One day, as they strolled through the village square, Asha stopped at a bustling fruit market. The air was fragrant with the scent of ripe mangoes and oranges, and vendors shouted cheerfully, showcasing their colorful wares. Asha picked up a bright orange and handed it to Ravi. "Close your eyes and taste this," she said. "Don't think, just feel." Ravi hesitated but obliged. As he bit into the fruit, the sweetness exploded in his mouth, the juice trickling down his chin. It was a moment of pure delight, a sensation he had long forgotten. "It's amazing," he exclaimed, his eyes wide with surprise. "Exactly," Asha said with a grin. "Life is made up of these moments. Savor them." At first, Ravi struggled to let go of his analytical thoughts. I have work to do, he would say, glancing at the scrolls he'd left at home. But Asha would gently remind him, work will always be there, but moments like these are fleeting. Embrace them. As the days passed, Ravi began to find joy in these moments. One day they came across a group of children playing near the riverbank, their laughter ringing like music in the air. Asha beckoned him to join. Let's play with them, she suggested, her eyes twinkling with mischief. Ravi hesitated, his mind racing with thoughts of what he should be doing. But Asha took his hand and together they joined the children. They played games, chased each other around, and Ravi couldn't help but laugh, a sound he hadn't heard from himself in ages. In those moments, he felt alive, as if the weight of his responsibilities had lifted. As their bond deepened, Asha began to share her own story with Ravi. She spoke of her sister's illness, her grief, and her journey toward healing. I learned that life is fragile and beautiful, she said. We must cherish each moment and the connections we make along the way. Healing is not just about the body, it's about the heart and mind working together. Ravi listened intently, realizing how similar their paths were, both seeking healing in their own ways. Asha's vulnerability inspired him to open up about his own struggles, sharing his feelings of inadequacy and his desire to connect with others. One evening, as they sat by a tranquil river, Asha asked Ravi to close his eyes. Listen to the water, she said softly. Feel its flow. Let your heart and mind become one with this moment. As Ravi listened, he felt a shift within him. The sound of the water echoed his own heartbeat, creating a rhythm that resonated deep within. It was as if the worries that plagued his mind began to dissolve, replaced by a profound sense of peace. The river's gentle current reminded him of life's natural ebb and flow, a reminder that he too could let go of the rigid structure he had imposed on himself. Do you feel it? Asha asked, her voice barely above a whisper. This is the dance of your mind and heart. Yes, Ravi replied, tears brimming in his eyes. I've spent so long thinking my way through life that I forgot how to feel. Asha placed her hand on his shoulder. Your mind is powerful, but it is only one part of you. Embrace your emotions. They are your compass, guiding you toward understanding. You cannot ignore one aspect without losing the whole. Encouraged by Asha's words, Ravi began to explore different avenues of expression. Asha introduced him to various practices. He began to meditate by the river, feeling the warmth of the sun and the cool breeze on his face. They would sit silently, allowing their thoughts to drift like clouds across a vast sky. Asha taught him to visualize his worries dissolving into the water, carried away by the gentle current. With each passing day, Ravi felt a growing sense of freedom. He discovered the joy of cooking, experimenting with spices and flavors, and savoring the meals he prepared. One afternoon, he invited Asha to his home, a modest dwelling filled with scrolls and books. As he chopped vegetables, he shared stories of his family and childhood. For the first time in a long time, he felt the joy of companionship in the kitchen, laughing over spilled ingredients and imperfect dishes. Asha too brought her own flair to their cooking sessions. She taught Ravi the importance of presentation, encouraging him to create dishes that were not only delicious but also visually appealing. Food is an art, she explained, just like painting. It should bring joy to all the senses. Painting became another outlet for him. Asha gifted him a small canvas and some paints, encouraging him to capture the colors of the world around him. He found himself captivated by the hues of the sunset, the vibrancy of flowers, and the smiles of children. Each brushstroke felt like a release, a way to express emotions he had long buried. Ravi hung his paintings around his home, transforming it into a gallery of his journey. As the weeks turned into months, Ravi began to engage more with the villagers, sharing his knowledge with humility and kindness. He would sit with the farmers, helping them with their crops while listening to their stories. In return, they shared laughter and friendship, which filled the void in his heart. The villagers began to notice a change in him. He laughed more, connected with others, and even shared his knowledge without the need for validation. During a community gathering, Ravi organized a storytelling evening, inviting villagers to share their tales. It was a simple idea, but it blossomed into something beautiful. Villagers gathered around a bonfire, each taking turns to share their stories, their struggles, and their triumphs. Ravi shared his own story of transformation, detailing his journey from isolation to connection. One night, as the stars twinkled above, Ravi stood up to speak. The villagers, who once only saw him as the brilliant mind, were now eager to hear the man he had become. "I once believed that intellect was all that mattered," he said, his voice steady and filled with warmth. "But I've learned that true wisdom lies in understanding ourselves, in harmonizing our thoughts with our emotions. We are not just minds, we are hearts too." The crowd erupted in applause, their faces shining with admiration. Asha stood at the back, her heart swelling with pride for the transformation she had witnessed. Ravi felt an overwhelming sense of belonging and gratitude. He had bridged the gap within himself, finding a sense of unity he had long sought. As Ravi continued to grow, he became a source of inspiration for others. He started teaching mindfulness techniques to the villagers, guiding them in meditation by the river, encouraging them to embrace their feelings. Asha often joined him, and together they created a small community of seekers, a safe space where people could share their struggles and triumphs. One evening during a meditation session, a young woman named Leela approached Ravi, her eyes filled with uncertainty. "I've been struggling with my own demons," she confessed, her voice trembling. "I feel lost, like I'm drowning in my thoughts." Ravi smiled gently, remembering his own journey. "You're not alone," he reassured her. "It's okay to feel lost. Sometimes, it's in our darkest moments that we find our true selves. Let's meditate together." As they sat side by side, Ravi guided her through the meditation, encouraging her to visualize her worries floating away like leaves on the river. Leela's breathing began to steady, and slowly, a sense of calm washed over her. When they finished, she looked at Ravi with gratitude in her eyes. "Thank you," she said softly. "I feel lighter." As weeks turned into months, the community blossomed under the guidance of Ravi and Asha. They organized workshops on mindfulness, cooking, and painting, bringing people together and fostering a sense of connection. Ravi's home became a hub of creativity and healing, filled with laughter, vibrant paintings, and the aroma of delicious food. However, amid this newfound joy, Ravi still carried the weight of his past. His father's expectations loomed large, haunting him in quiet moments. One day he received a letter from his father, summoning him to return home. Ravi's heart raced with anxiety. Would he be able to face his father, who had always valued intellect above emotional well-being? With Asha's encouragement, Ravi decided to confront his fears. "You've come so far," she said, her voice firm yet supportive. "This is your chance to show him the man you've become." Ravi journeyed back to his childhood home, feeling a mix of excitement and dread. When he arrived, his father greeted him with surprise. "Ravi, you've changed," his father remarked, taking note of the vibrant colors on Ravi's clothes and the warmth in his demeanor. "Yes, father," Ravi replied, his voice steady. "I've learned to embrace my heart along with my mind." They sat down for dinner, the atmosphere heavy with unspoken words. Ravi knew he had to be honest. "I want to share my journey with you, father. I've realized that knowledge is important, but it's only one part of life. We must connect with our emotions and the people around us to truly live." His father listened, his expression unreadable. "But intellect is what has always brought us respect," he countered. "What will people think if you abandon that pursuit?" "True respect comes from being authentic," Ravi replied, his heart pounding. "I want to be a man who brings joy and healing to others, not just knowledge. I want to help others bridge their own gaps." As Ravi spoke, he felt a wave of vulnerability wash over him. He shared stories of the villagers, of the laughter and connections he had made, and how it had changed him. To his surprise, his father's expression softened. "I didn't realize how deeply you were struggling," he admitted, his voice tinged with regret. "I pushed you too hard." The conversation that followed was cathartic. Ravi and his father exchanged stories, each learning from the other. By the end of the evening, they had begun to forge a new understanding, a bridge between the expectations of the past and the realities of the present. As Ravi returned to the village, he felt lighter than he had in years. He was no longer just a man of intellect. He had become a man of heart and spirit, embracing the beautiful complexities of life. The village thrived as a community of seekers, each person on their own journey toward integration. Asha and Ravi continued to lead mindfulness sessions, helping villagers find balance in their lives. They welcomed newcomers, fostering a sense of belonging that transcended individual struggles. One sunny afternoon, they organized a festival celebrating art, food, and community. The village square was adorned with colorful banners and stalls showcasing local crafts. Ravi set up a painting booth, encouraging villagers to express themselves through art. As he watched people create, he felt a deep sense of fulfillment. During the festival, Ravi stood on a stage, surrounded by vibrant flowers and colorful artwork. "Today, we celebrate not just our individual talents but the unity we've found together," he proclaimed. "Let us continue to support one another as we journey through life, embracing both our minds and our hearts." The crowd erupted in cheers, their faces beaming with joy. In that moment, Ravi realized that he had truly come home, not just to his village but to himself. He was surrounded by people who understood him, who accepted him for who he was, flaws and all. As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden light over the festivities, Asha approached Ravi, her eyes sparkling with pride. "You've created something beautiful here," she said, her voice filled with warmth. "You've bridged the gap for so many, including yourself." Ravi smiled, feeling a wave of gratitude. "I couldn't have done it without you. You showed me the way." As the festival continued into the evening, Ravi and Asha watched as families danced, children played, and laughter echoed through the square. The bonds they had formed were unbreakable, a testament to the power of connection and understanding. The following week, Ravi received another letter from his father. This time it expressed pride and a desire to visit the village. The invitation filled Ravi with joy. He could hardly believe how much had changed in such a short time. He prepared for his father's visit, eager to share the vibrant life they had built together in the village. When his father arrived, the warmth of the community enveloped him. Ravi introduced him to the villagers, sharing stories of the connections they had formed and the healing that had taken place. His father's initial skepticism faded as he witnessed the love and unity that flourished in this place. During the visit, they attended a meditation session by the river, where villagers gathered to practice mindfulness. Ravi watched as his father participated, his eyes closed and a look of tranquility on his face. It was a sight he had never imagined. After the session, Ravi approached his father, who looked peaceful and reflective. "I never understood the importance of this," his father admitted. "Thank you for showing me a new way to live." Ravi smiled, feeling a rush of gratitude. "It's never too late to learn, father. We can continue to grow together." As the weeks passed, Ravi's relationship with his father deepened. They began to share more experiences, exploring the village together, attending community events, and even cooking together in Ravi's home. The laughter they shared filled Ravi's heart with joy, reinforcing the bonds they had created. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the sunset, Ravi turned to his father. "You've taught me so much about strength and resilience. I hope to pass that on to others just as Asha taught me." His father nodded, his gaze distant. "And I hope to learn more about the heart, about being present with others. This village has shown me the beauty of connection." Ravi felt a surge of happiness, realizing that the bridge he had built between his heart and mind had extended to include his father. They had both learned the importance of integrating their experiences, paving the way for a future filled with understanding and love. As months turned into years, the village continued to thrive, becoming a beacon of hope and healing for others. Ravi and Asha's teaching spread to neighboring villages, inspiring many to embark on their own journeys of integration. They hosted retreats, workshops, and festivals, each designed to foster a sense of community and connection. Ravi often reflected on his transformation, grateful for the journey he had undertaken. He had learned to embrace both his mind and heart, finding joy in the delicate balance between the two. With Asha by his side, he felt empowered to share this wisdom with the world. One fateful day, as Ravi stood on the stage at another festival, he addressed the crowd with heartfelt sincerity. "We are all on a journey, each of us seeking understanding and connection. Let us remember that true wisdom lies in embracing the entirety of our being, mind, body, and spirit." The villagers cheered, their faces glowing with enthusiasm. In that moment, Ravi knew that the seeds of healing they had planted would continue to grow and flourish, nourishing future generations. As the festival concluded, Ravi caught Asha's eye across the crowd. They exchanged a knowing smile, each understanding the profound impact they had made together. The journey of integration was a lifelong one, and they were committed to walking it hand in hand. Years later, as Ravi and Asha watched the next generation of villagers engage in laughter and creativity, they felt a deep sense of fulfillment. They had created a legacy of love, understanding, and unity, one that would carry on long after they were gone. In the quiet moments by the river, as the sun set in hues of orange and pink, Ravi would often close his eyes and reflect on the journey that had brought him here. He had learned to dance with his thoughts, to embrace his feelings, and to celebrate the beauty of connection. And in that sacred space, he found a profound sense of peace, a testament to the power of integrating the mind and heart. As Jesus concluded the story, his disciples were profoundly moved. Just as Ravi learned to unite his mind and heart, he said, "You too must embrace both aspects of your being. Let your hearts guide your thoughts and allow your minds to support your dreams. In this balance lies true peace and joy." The disciples exchanged knowing glances, feeling a warmth in their hearts. They understood that the journey toward integration was a path worth taking, one that would lead them to a deeper connection with themselves and each other. As they left the shade of the fig tree, hope and inspiration filled the air, reminding them that harmony was always within reach. Ravi's journey echoed in their hearts, empowering them to explore their own minds and hearts, knowing that the bridge between them could lead to a life full of love, joy, and understanding. With each step they took, they felt a renewed sense of purpose and a commitment to cultivate harmony in their own lives, sharing this newfound wisdom with others in their communities. And so, the story of Ravi and Asha became a cherished tale, passed down through generations, a reminder that within each of us lies the potential for healing, connection, and the beautiful dance of life. This is end of the story. Comment Amen if you believe in Jesus' blessings. Please like this video and subscribe this channel for more Jesus story like this. May the God watch over you.